Hooray! Featuring presently down in the lower right-hand corner of the screen of the Dungeon Master's background.
Well, that was for me.
Wrong side. Other side.
Hey,
There you go. Oh, you just.
the youngster.
I'm Valer, the Dragon Sentinel, and all I remember is Felicity told the truth. That's the only note I took, and I don't remember what she told the truth about.
What?
Oh, I did have a question. I remember something about the Primus, the old elves, were fighting the dwarves and enforcing the pact, but usually it's the dwarves that are enforcing the pact. So that's kind of curious. Quite curious. Exavway.
I am in. Did I? Oh well, whatever. I am a Gladway or Xavier.
Roll with it, that's the way.
I am the highly inquisitive pumpkin rogue who is remembers that we are currently chasing primate ships as I saw them, and also find it's odd that we've rarely seen any other ships outside of the wings, whatever the like guard of this region is. And I also remember that the pockets we've been seeing population pockets and they don't look so good. I suspect this is part of the pack, but yes. As they say, there's something quite hinky.
Haven't they heard the pack is
smell.
dead?
No, I don't think they've heard.
Oh, okay. Actually, have I been in any city of a large population? Okay. Uh,
And Fulcrum.
okay.
Yes.
So isn't this the way it's supposed to be? Not those big cities?
No. No explanation needed. No.
I'm Mooncat Shadowstalker, a ranger. Um, my home wasn't in this iteration, but I'm here now, and so here I am. Um, what I remember the fairy dragon that we woke up and she was
She was quite
and
nice.
she was quite nice. I mean, she was a huge fairy dragon. I mean, like giant. I mean, a person could have ridden on her. She was so
Larger than life, you could say.
yeah. And she told us the story of how she got there, that she was badly wounded in the fight when she was with the seven, and apparently she was poisoned and didn't know it, and so they actually put her into, I guess, a really long gentle repose, but they never came back, and so she died there in gentle repose. And Freya wanted to put some flowers on her grave and cause violets to grow up, and it woke her up. And and it was more than waking up. I mean, she was like back. Yes,
Ah, ah.
and
Oh, I don't feel so
we
good.
were talking with her a bit before she took off because she said she was hungry, and she came back with some sheep.
Careful, John. A couple more puns like that, and you might finish me off. Yeah. Okay. Put him over my head if you can hit that high.
Yeah, he had to do that the other. No gut punches allowed. Um, yeah, because we saw a Primus ship going over the mountains,
They were
and
fighting with dwarves. There's multiple wings all over the place.
mhm.
They seem to be overwatching, watching over Bergeron. We're cool like that. The
Yeah, and
what?
that's
I
when
don't. No, this is just the best way.
that's
Straight
direct
as an
route over
arrow.
the mountains that avoids the ocean.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh, no, you will never acknowledge what you know.
Silliness. You're churlish. You're being churlish. That's what it is.
Mm. Um, the one thing was
Let's go
also
plaid,
we were going
boyos.
to invite her to come with us, but she took off once her sheep ran away because she was so busy talking she forgot.
Yep.
Yeah.
She wanted to go look for the.
Keep.
I don't think she wanted to believe us that they had died or gone away, so she wanted to go
Yeah.
look for them or something. It was something like that.
But
I'm sure it was very beautiful and extremely wise and intelligent.
she woke from her dream and now she can pursue it. We had
Uh,
gotten through a first ridge of mountains,
Let me look
and,
at the map again.
and that was where the Chalcedony wing dropped in on us.
Where is Septan? Ah, no, we were just entering the gold. So we were just coming into the bottom of the gold, probably in the second gold hex up. Is there any farmhouse in sight? What?
Can I get a look at that with my spyglass? Okay, he's going to.
Somebody doesn't want to be spotted from up above.
Well,
Yeah,
they're just
he's going to.
farmers. Why would they care?
Maybe they have a community that is larger than they're allowed.
What were you saying, Xavier?
I think that this may be another outlier of human population because that's the only reason I can think that
Oh,
they may be
very smart. They could be
not.
hiding their population size.
Yes. Why would they? Okay,
Are
that.
they lions with a spyglass? Are they 4-footed lions or are they 2-footed lions?
Are there children nearby? Thank goodness. I might be a little nervous. I'm a child at heart. They might have to check. Yeah, I do have one of those. Okay, so
I'd like to investigate.
sure,
Yeah, let's check this out.
sounds fine, I guess. Uh-oh.
Nope. Dang disadvantage. Yeah, I might name tag. Wait, do you think that's worth it though? Yeah, I'm doing it. Well, I got an 8 on die, but let me see what my perception is. Wait a minute. Okay, so it would be like, ah, dang it, it would be off by 1, 11. Because I have a. They seemed, I can't quite make it out, but they seem to be trying to communicate with each other. I'm thinking we have, yeah,
Probably the lions because they're the ones that are obvious. The other ones, if we look the wrong way, we might lose where you saw the other movement.
Do you think we should maybe not descend into the cornrows right away?
Well, we could always rappel down go down the rope.
Well, I mean, like, try to address them from above.
yes, I think we should try to address them. Of
Maybe we could
course,
get a human to do it. Um, I kind of wonder if a Ponga reached over the top and started yelling at them, or maybe that would be
Leonine,
such. Yeah, that would perhaps it's the best idea. I'm afraid if Alar leaned his. Oh God, the guy down near the Warren, the
Rakshasa.
goblin. Yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
wait a minute.
Oh, wait.
that would be it. 22.
Mhm. I okay.
Ah,
Yeah, I I kind of blew it. I rolled a natural 20. I could use it maybe when I'm sometime on a. Uh,
yeah.
yeah. Sure. I have a 5, so I do 25.
Um, if I remember correctly, Archer had it some sort of falling out with his people. So
Mhm.
maybe mentioning that we're friends with him may not be the best idea.
Okay.
But aye,
Yeah.
I'm just remember letting everyone know that he had a falling out and
Maybe
Yeah.
we're
yeah.
interested in getting some food.
Hello,
Hey,
friendly friends here. We'd like to say hello. Okay.
boom. Okay.
They want us to go that way instead of land?
Of course,
Oh, okay. They don't want me to burn them down.
no, what they don't want you to do is see the others, whoever. Ca- A camouflage list. Okay.
Right.
Valere will hop down.
Xavier's gonna follow.
And I'll follow afterwards.
So what does this village look like? Uh-huh. Okay. Huh. airships, particularly.
Okay.
Where's Bylon? Oh, Bergeron. Oh, okay. Cool. I haven't heard of Bylon before. New info.
Yep.
New geography.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, I've realized that the way that I've written everything all over Valaire's character sheets, trying to find something on it is kind of like a little bit. Like it's 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 pretty cool. Like I like that sort of aged because I've had it for years, just like writing all over, written in the corners and all that stuff. But boy, is it inconvenient. But it looks cool. Looks cool. Looks the way a good old high level character sheet should look. So these people tend to trade with whoever they find, it
Yeah.
appears.
Isn't,
Pirate or no.
isn't
I
this
mean,
a little unusual? I mean, isn't it a little far off the track of the ocean? Or are there pirates that don't ply the ocean?
because,
There's lots of
well,
pirates all over, like
they could be,
not just ocean pirates.
yeah, they could be aerial, but
I mean, like, what kind of pirate would want to be by the ocean, anyways? That would be silly.
that begs the question. Knowing that, Valera, do you have an issue with this? I mean,
What, the pirates?
yeah,
Oh, no, I mean, people gotta do what they have to do to survive, you know.
His issue
If,
is not with pirates, it's with the ocean.
well, if the
Just
pirates were to come and say, see this village, they might want to raid it if it wasn't a possible trading partner.
that's more what I was asking. I mean, do we want
he ignored my gentle
I don't know what
suggestion.
you're talking about.
to?
I'll remind you later.
Bifurcated?
I've,
Who? I have not. The what?
what color is he?
Valera also looks at her funny. Hey, what do you mean, what color is he?
Because there are dragons of different colors, and they usually
Aye, exactly.
Well, then why did you have to keep on looking at me funny? All I needed was that answer. Sounds interesting.
Hmm.
Well, no, I have not met with the Lord of Dragons yet. Oh, lovely. I am Valer, the Dragon Sentinel. This is Mooncat Shadowstalker and Xavier.
She glares at you.
And
Yeah, I know what it's like to have somebody like that in the group. He makes no emotion towards anybody in particular. Um, all things are bright and wonderful. Until we got a little closer to here, we found that there's a large contingent of elves fighting with the dwarves over the pact. It seems. Hmm. So what are they? The Bergeron soldiers and the. Hmm.
But you
Aha.
never asked for protection.
Well,
Yes.
that's always good. It's very good. So, what about the Bailani pirates? What are they? Aha.
What do you mean by convert?
Huh. Interesting. I had not heard of that. Well, I hope they go and never come back, the bastards.
Wait a moment. What have they brought back? Have you seen what they brought back? Well,
Horrors, more like.
can is there anybody here that has seen them in detail and can describe them?
that's So you said you were having issues with both groups. Is there?
Well, your camouflage is quite ingenious. Hmm. Smart.
And
You guys are very smart.
also,
That's good.
also, if one is found out, one can ship somewhere else. Okay.
How is it possible for you to manage such this massive fields? Mooncat. How could you?
I am not.
I mean, so what? I guess the next question is, and forgive me if I'm being a bit forward. Is there anything we can do to how to put this? Earn your trust?
Well, what do you
Gee,
have
let's
for sale? I have lots of financial support. Well, I'm sure our quartermaster would be happy to fill our stores here. Valere will go over to the ship and whistle for the quartermaster to come down and do the dirty and get all the. Sure. Sounds good. Give him
he
10 platinum.
negotiates for some fresh greens and fruit. Enough.
No.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they try to kill me first. Yeah, I'm good. Do they have the scythe arms? Oh.
Exos. Exos. Ah,
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Thrycreen? Yarlum?
okay, okay.
So these aren't the ones with the scythe arms that I've seen in over the farms in second iteration. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, that's very interesting. I've not seen one of their kind before, I think. Oh, really?
Be- because okay.
Well, it makes sense. The other ones are pretty nightmarishly horrible.
Cray cray.
Cray.
Cree. Did he say his name? Aha.
Leon.
Liam Neeson.
I will. I will. He will find you. He will kill you. Please leave.
Why would you kill Jonathan?
Yeah, joke. I'm making
I
a
don't think
joke.
she's seen Taken.
No, I don't think I have.
The
Good movie.
first one, at least.
Is that the one where the girl is kidnapped from out from under the bed? I've
Yeah.
I've never seen the whole thing, just a bit while I went by the channel.
It's beginning to look a lot like Apocalypse. Everywhere we go.
Mm,
Uh-huh.
mm, mm.
Hmm.
People are going to need.
Well, I understand your position. I don't envy it.
And smell.
Let's tango, baby. Okay. Well, it's very interesting, I must say. Not what I expected at all. Poltroon? Mm. Poor bastards. Hmm? What? Poor bastards, I said. Are they both also human? So, Bergeron, guessing it's a pretty large city, maybe? So, why are why would the Primus over yonder waste their time fighting with the dwarves when they could be fighting the Bergeronis to enforce the pact there?
But the out.
Oh, so it's a
Wait,
business
I
dispute.
thought you said it was Primus. Is there another group of Eldrin elsewhere? That,
So, what happened between the? I know it's not really your like involvement or anything, but I curious. It's very strange to find the Primus at war with the dwarves. Usually they're in quite agreement when this pact is involved. Ah, so they're full up. Ah. So why do you think that they're stop their buying? They usually have plenty of uses for. Well, that's a gruesome way to put it. I don't disagree. It's a gruesome way to put it. Hmm. Well, I am a wee bit of a hero. I don't know if you've heard of me. You know, I do have a book. Someone wrote about me. It's very good. Um, so we often just travel looking for wrongs to be righted. You know, do you know of any ways that we could help in the area? Well, I'm definitely working on one of those.
Yes.
So what's this about the Dragon Lord? I have not heard of him actually.
Must be a local phenomenon.
Phenomena.
Du- 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 du.
Phenomena.
Du- 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 du.
Phenomena.
Done?
Du- 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 du.
Woo!
Dum.
It's pretty.
Karna Altasret.
Really?
What is this about the gates? Is this an old thing or a recent thing?
Hmm.
Okay.
Well, that is the plan.
The Dragonborn?
Well, perhaps we should.
Investigate.
Yes.
Introduce
Has it
ourselves. Say hello.
all of that?
No, there isn't. I mean, it's silly. There wouldn't
Mooncat just
no.
kind of like cocks herself over on one hip, crosses her arms across her chest. Oh, that would be horrible for him to go on such a long wild goose chase.
Silly. Very silly. Waste of time. Total waste. Oh,
What?
In what way?
Well,
the
from what?
usual one? When you say pilgrims, Oh, thank goodness. If you see anything that looks like a pilgrim, smells like a pilgrim, shoot it.
That could be hard on the wandering clerics that sometimes
What
travel
wandering
among.
clerics?
I think the Veilites will be enough recognizable not to be shot.
Well, I think more than likely that they'll be happy to be martyrs for a good cause.
I guess it depends on your way of
Sometimes, Valera, I just cannot believe what comes out of your mouth.
I know exactly what you mean.
Mhm. Okay.
A little sparkle landed on both of your heads. I don't know what it was.
Wow. That's my
Well, I
first
think we
one.
might have an appointment up north.
Yes.
We might need to get to it. He has no plans of flying south. That's silly. He wouldn't. No, yeah.
Mary knows exactly where she is.
But I have.
I'm going to throw you through a wall.
Uh,
I,
Good. Keep it that
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. Got to do a bio.
Mary had a nice
Alright.
dinner with her before we moved on.
I'm actually in pursuit of, well, other than knowledge, so I would like to confer with the Master of Scrolls sometimes. Maybe we could trade information, but I'm also looking for any, local train traffic, if you. Of course there is.
And if you remember correctly, the Pac-Men did
Yeah.
Meta
And
had one.
what does this warlord look like? Having a suspicion that I know who it is another, but so okay. Not too bad. Oh crap. No, okay. Xavier will physically pound his forehead for a second. Not who I was expecting. But
Oh, you put your foot in it. Not
yes,
my
I
foot.
did. Xavier.
Not my foot. Not my foot. My, my foot is not in my mouth.
There are a fair number of people fighting for section independence. I'm just yes, we've crossed paths. Okay, in that I can't remember where Maputo is from, but it's not so much a place, more of a person. And I'm hunting. I don't know who he serves, only that he was looking. On a train. Yeah, yeah. He was going from, I thought, wait, he was going to now from, it wasn't first. I want to say it was fifth, but I may be misremembering. No, the second were eighth iteration, being or seventh. Yeah. Yeah. So, yes. So he, not that I remember, but yeah. Um, well,
Well,
the only place I know about is Draconia. Training. Oh, that's right. We did find an abandoned train station. That wasn't Argyle. That was before Argyle.
I'm back.
my foot is not in my mouth.
Okay.
F.
Yes. I blurted things out like I always do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I can't.
Yes. I feel like he was from. Was he from Swarthier? Then there was Trundlespoon. Mm-hmm.
Okay. We are supported, but not necessarily from you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how do I
I knew it was one
wanna...
of those two. I know
Yeah.
Swarthier is a big section.
No, I knew it wasn't fourth there, okay.
That Yes, I was. No, we got back just as it was being destroyed. And we couldn't get back to the train because it was collapsed in on it.
Yeah.
And then we healed. We went back in time and we fixed the Pony Empress and her soldiers. So they had a large, gigantic contingent of sorcerers. Well, she still had that dream thing, prophecy, whatever you want to call it. That her and uh,
Yes.
Trundle Spoon, just below it.
Free themselves from.
There is a second movement across the sea. I believe it is located in Trundle Spoon or somewhere in that area.
You know, weirdly enough, I actually think Heart might have two of the masks.
Oh god.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god. Okay. No, we need to keep them.
But he's kept them hidden in secret, so
Okay, good. Continue to do so.
on complete accident, just not no intention at all.
Yeah.
No meta knowledge has caused that to happen, of course. Yeah, there's like a Cupid mask and there's like an old
Okay, so I have to look at Shadowrun just for my own.
I think it's right up
Yeah.
at the top actually. Let me see. It's like the first thing that we wrote down in the Discord.
I'll check it out.
Absolutely. Oh god, that's Jean's version. Can't read that.
What's that?
A mask made of a black dragon scale looks like a beast horned hacked at with a knife. Then a white porcelain cherub mask.
Okay. Yeah.
Might have been another one, but I don't remember. Mask of a chubby male with scraggly beard and bristly hair. Might be a monkey.
How boring.
So
Not
can we get a
Aryan.
very clear description of what they look like so that we can differentiate in the future? So no bulbous butts. Mm-hmm.
I think it
Okay.
would be smart to say that if you just looked up walking stick, the insect, you will see.
And stick
Okay.
bugs don't have pincers either. Oh, okay. Okay, I got a visual. Got a visual in the noggin. Um, uh, large, smooth pincers. Very thin. Thri-kreen stick bug like crossbar head horizontal, eyes across them instead of in bunches. Large, smooth pincers and very thin. Anything else? Oh my gosh, I can't spell antenna.
Antenna. Yeah, sometimes AE. Antennae.
Forward antenna. Cool. The tar-kreen. The minikreen. Cool. Now, I have a very important question. Legion. Does he look more like one of these things or more like a Yarlum? Okay, cool. Just making sure. You know, you got to make sure you have your bug enemies filed under the right, Okay,
Never
sounds
met the
goody.
fellow.
You don't want to.
Fine.
He makes Dejana look like a chump.
Ew. Okay.
Who's he?
Legion.
Call from Maya what? Call from Maya what?
I don't know what you're talking about. So, did you guys have anything more that you guys wanted to do here?
Yeah, but well, if he could, I guess I'm more looking for maps. I mean, I still wanna I wanna get sense of geography, but also see if there's anything beyond the mountains that he may have. But I don't know what to trade for that.
I can lend you any money that you need. Well, put it this way. If it's an investment for the ship's library, it's a party expense and I'll cover it.
That's true. Yeah, so, but I would, before actually by finalizing this, I would be like, do you really want to just lean over to the lair? Do you really want the Fellstones we have placed marked on someone else's map?
Yeah, I don't.
You can.
Okay.
Sounds kind of cool though, like he's talking on a walkie-talkie. Over and out.
But
They're
I
flying
would,
overhead. Get down.
but I would mark like my personal exploits. Yeah, that sort of thing.
Oh wait, that happened
Maybe-
in third iteration. Oh no, wait, that one happened in second. Oh wait, no, that was in fourth. Ah, darn. It doesn't match.
They don't know. If you mark them down there, they don't know. They'll assume it happened now. This this current time.
I'm trying to make up an excuse not to put it down, Gene.
Oh,
Yeah.
The pain already exists.
the pain.
Shut up, fish. You're drunk.
So I would
Oh, he's
I would
rough.
actually mark down where my where I know my library is. Yeah.
Hey, Tomato, you have to stop playing around with those polymorph self spells. Do you know what you look like? I guess he's not there. She's not so sure she wants to see Primus. Yeah, I know. She doesn't necessarily want to meet him.
As I have always said about the Primus, and these are words of wisdom to live by. They're dicks. Don't matter what iteration it is, don't matter why they're there. Safe to assume they're dicks. But you could be pleasantly surprised. They could be less dickish. Oh no, no, cook it, please. Medium well, thank you. I don't like prey.
He likes food and skin it. Before you cook it, you have to skin it. That's a proper way to cook food.
No.
Can I say
Unfortunately,
dragon.
that's a racist
remark?
assumption.
Stories of masters.
Let's say all dragons are not exactly alike in their tastes of food.
Stereotype.
Yeah. Yep.
Lovely.
Excellent.
Yeah, it sounds like he just woke up.
I did.
For someone who loves coffee, you are almost always groggy.
Coffee doesn't work on me anymore. It's just I love the flavor.
That's a problem, you know?
What? If it doesn't work anymore? Yeah, I used to drink it like, oh my god, every day.
You
But
still do.
I don't actually. I drink tea now every day. Drink tea doesn't have caffeine. I
Yes, it
miss.
does. Depends on the tea.
I know it depends on the tea. I drink tea that doesn't have caffeine.
Okay.
He has very little caffeine.
No, it just tea doesn't have caffeine.
Well, the tea you're drinking doesn't have caffeine.
Yes, I know. I was saying tea. I wasn't saying the coffee. I was saying the tea.
No, I'm saying that tea in general usually does.
Yeah. Well, it just is like made with apples and cinnamon.
I'm back.
You left?
Yeah, I had a phone call. You're welcome. Oh,
Yeah. No.
just kind of sit back and listen. You'll figure out where we are.
Me. Uh. I am Jack. I'm always confused a bit.
No, you're not.
Issue.
You're tomato.
Oh.
Jack is your dog.
See? Proof. Confused. Jack. Right. I'm Jack. I'm totally Jack. No, wait. No, I'm tomato.
What I just said.
Yeah.
Great. Cool.
So you want to go up now and visit this Lord
Yeah.
of all dragons?
It's up to you guys.
Well, when I'm at the Primus and I don't want to have to do and deal with them again, so that's out. And I don't see why we need to go talk to the Grim to tell them to take human when that's the last thing in the world I would want them to do.
Well, I mean, isn't the point from shouldn't we try and show the Grim the error of their ways?
Oh, you're gonna show off.
Yeah. True. True. So, I the yeah.
And
That's why I
besides,
said it's up to you guys if you guys have an interest.
and it doesn't make sense. You have what, 3 entrances into underground Grim. Those are whole nations. We're going to take care of that problem, are we?
Yeah, let's do this.
Well, I
I'm with
mean,
you.
we dealt with
That
both.
was, yeah, I know we dealt.
Let him
Well-
finish, Gene.
Sorry.
We dealt with both races. I mean, Bo wasn't too. Wait, that was wrong character. Actually, I don't think Xavier has dealt with too many Grim. But
There was one on the train. He was the engineer.
I thought he was a grunt. But
Nope, he was a Grim.
oh
A
yeah,
good-
that's
He was a good Grim, but a Grim.
so I have dealt with both. But I am actually kind of interested in Carnivorous Rex myself because someone claiming to be the Lord of Dragons might be a little bit more interesting. So my vote is to stay on course.
Tomato? Sounds good.
Uh, uh, Jean did, but in chat, they put their hand up over her mouth and hold her lips shut.
Rude.
It's a good pose for you. So, I guess we're going up to Carnatus Rex.
I like his name better, Carnivorous Rex. Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Oh,
Well,
fun.
if it will do good, then good is what I do.
I'm
Hmm.
game.
Cool.
Wait, is ice? Are you saying ice cream? Like as daiquiri cream?
Who?
Sorry, I was in the meta. I was like, did their name come from ice cream? Oh, okay. I thought you were going for a pun.
Poop.
They built part of
Are you
Trantor.
saying Trantor's made of bug spit? Nice. Delicious. Lick the walls clean. Clean enough to expectorate on. Ha 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 ha. Now let's go. Keep our eyes out for a bug queen. Oh.
Oh, clever creatures.
Okay, so on our way, Valaire's gonna go into the library, and Xavier, I need your help.
all right.
We need to go into this prepared. So let's split up the books and see if we can find anything on this Lord of Dragons or Carnatus Rex in any of the dragon books that they have. So I'll take let's see. I'll take Dragon History and Uncommon Habitations of Dragons, and you take Sleeping Dragons and the Time Goddess Sanctuaries.
All right. I've
Do we
been.
have any other dragon books in our other library? Malign Shadow Scrolls, Eldritch Incunabulum of Thrin, Scripture of Cicero, maybe Ammon Esoterica, Elysian Tome of Sylphe, Eldritch Fragments of Fellstone. Might want to look into that one. Uh huh.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
look at that one too.
Cool.
Let's see. Investigation.
I'm gonna name tag that one.
Okay,
Woof.
Mm,
A little bit better.
crap. Well, I got an 8.
17.
Oh, I have a 17. Sorry, I had muted.
So it was the 2 that went in to read books.
I get a 17.
Okay.
Okay, so Mountain Meat King is what his name means. Great. Carne Autus Rex, Meat Mountain King.
Be delighted to. That's point me in the right direction.
Don't.
Okay,
Okay.
so Dragon History.
Well, that on my second one, it would be I did time goddess first, so that didn't help. But I got a 17, so that would be
Oh, that's even better. That's like a 22.
24.
Ooh.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lucky most of us aren't people.
Unless he's hiding it. I don't know how many anybody could deal with their wife being murdered and not get a little upset by that.
Well,
Oh,
I've got the forward on the incarnatum. Yeah. So that would be a 14. Okay, so maybe that's why he took that queen as a sort of
Payback.
yeah.
So let's check the Eldritch Fragments of Fellstone, maybe.
Yep. Do you want to do that one, Travis, or do you want me?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
Okay. Not as good, but still okay. 17. 16. Sorry, 16. Okay.
The light has come.
Not yet. I haven't put it in yet. I'm pretty sure where the star is born. The
Could have also
star
been.
is born on the mountain
Could have
top.
also been the
The
night is
star is born.
come. That's awful thought too.
Yep. So, well, that didn't give me exactly what I wanted. I wanted to find a way to call him a lying bastard that he wasn't a lord of dragons, because I don't. That doesn't sound right to me. Don't know
Well,
why, but it doesn't sound right. Doesn't feel
hmm.
right.
Well, oh, I forgot to ask. When they talked about his followers, I'm kind of wondering what follows him. Is it a particular race or is it just believers?
Well, it can't be Dragonborn because he's killing off all protesters to dragonhood
Yeah.
that he doesn't agree with, anyways.
Hmm.
He'll probably try to kill me.
But you are a dragon.
Well, he'll. Good luck with that.
You're more dragon now than you ever were before.
Well, the
Well,
light is come, and he takes out the sword of light, Phobos and all that. So maybe I'll have to introduce him.
possibly. But let's see if there's a more diplomatic way we can deal with this.
Always, always.
I mean, I will pull out Flameheart if necessary, but I'd prefer to deal with this, without stabbing or getting stabbed myself. Just saying.
Completely agree. But it's good to know that you've got my back should sword diplomacy be necessary.
Always, always.
Or bow work.
Anyway,
Have
so uh, it's I'm kind of looking through our other titles, just glancing through, seeing if there's any.
Yeah, do you have any other things you want to look into while we're doing some research? There's always the chance for, inspirations we didn't intend.
I'm
Lord of
actually,
all monkeys?
you
The
know what?
great yellow-hatted one?
Don't, don't, don't. No, like I am actually gonna look for something odd.
Oh, what is that?
I I just kind of want to read the foreword to the Elysian Tome of Sylphe, because it sounds like someone in the celestial plane is writing about their take on Sylphe, and I think that's very interesting.
Nope, got an 8. Actually, I'm gonna.
So it's
I'm
saying that
actually.
they're like cousins, like royal cousins,
Oh,
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 I haven't read it.
that.
like
But
royal cousins that you could marry, but
oh,
yeah.
I'm gonna use a BP on my roll. Just yeah.
Are you rolling percentages?
That would be a 20. I'm gonna look at the map, see how close we are to the Crystal Spire Mountains. Yeah.
Oh, that's not so far away.
Arios.
Valera.
And just below Inundara. I have a
Valero.
question because I just realized something. What are the names of the 7th iteration? How many were there? 7? Yeah. So, who is Shadow? Does he have another name? Because we don't have Shadow on our list of 8 names. We have Robin. So we have Robin, Ray, Nim, Ulmara, Kodar, Lorthal, 216, and Kit. But then in give me a second. Just a second. Just a second. Where is it in the list? Because I could have sworn somewhere else we had it listed as Shadow as one of the names. And we were talking yesterday about Shadow's involvement with Dea, and also his involvement with like Ray and things. And I noticed one of our books, it may have a title that is misleading. No, we have the Apocrypha of Ray,
Yes.
but we also have the Malign Scrolls of Shadow. Now we
Ah,
thought that that was about Shadow, as in the Shadow Realms or whatever, but it might be about Shadow.
could I?
So I'd kind of want to look at that and see what that's.
Yeah, I'm.
My
get that after
curiosity
you-
has been piqued. It fell out when I was looking at another one, and I was like, "Wait a minute, Shadow."
Do I notice this as well? Because if so, I'll give you a.
Oh, I'd absolutely bring his attention to it. Like we're here studying together, so it'd be like, hey, look at this.
So yeah, get advantage on the roll because I'm gonna.
Okay. I got a nat 20, baby. You
I-
can't hide anything from me, DM. Uh-huh.
So this is interesting.
You know what else I noticed? There's only 2 sets of scrolls. There's the Scrolls of Shadow and the Scrolls of Davros. Maybe only bad people write scrolls.
I beg to differ. Sir.
Because nobody will publish the books.
That's true. Oh, of course. Why not?
So
Wow.
could Shadow and Davros
Do you think that
Or
was his avatar? Probably wasn't. But that would be a cool coincidence. Okay. Any other thoughts, Scott?
well, I will ask if we could make a detour to the place where the seer is, because I want to kick on the coming king. But
The
I
what?
think there is a seer that I found reference to a seer who believed to have a prophecy about a coming second. Was it monkey specifically, or just a second king? Yes. Yes.
And their king.
But I still want to kick it out to see what clicks, if anything clicks. But it would be a minor
What are you talking
detour.
about? What detour?
Well, it's like above our objective, isn't it?
Oh, in Arias.
Yeah.
I thought that was just where he saw that there were 3 hives. Oh.
Well,
Well, if this was written so long ago, he's probably not alive.
but there might be someone to take his place. You know how it goes.
Or maybe he wrote it on his grave or something.
Well, maybe we could look into one of the other books to see if there's a lead there.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
So let's see. Animal. So maybe the Ammon esoterica, because that's Ammon might be in reference to a man, as in
Yeah.
man's.
So.
Like what esoterica kind of makes it think of like a philosophy talking about what is man.
Well, that would be a 23 on that book.
Uh-huh.
So. Let's
Well, I got nothing out of that.
Yeah. That. Yes.
Uh-huh. Oh, here's one that's in my book that I didn't write down on this list. The Fallen Parchments of Erendos. What is that? Oh. Oh, I was hoping it would be similar to Arias because the name's so similar. Okay. Vicar? Oh.
If it's just the ramblings of a crazy man, I don't know whether it's worth it. But
Read it anyway.
Incanoblin of Throg?
Here, we're just gonna go through.
My worry is that if we go, like, I don't know if we're going to be able to get past the area that we're supposed to go to without getting involved.
Yeah. That's what I'm more asking. When we're done, could we go to areas?
Well, of
I'm not
course.
saying.
I just worry that it might change.
Yeah, true. Well, Fellstones tend to do that. But on the Inclinabum of Frog, that would be a 21. Actually, 20. Throg is a 23. Okay, nope.
Nice.
We don't need to be looking.
Oh, did I mention that these were the
What?
most dangerous in the library and the ones that I couldn't donate to the Wemmick way back when? Because I had about 20 other ones, and they were kind of mundane compared to these.
So
Blair,
how?
please get rid of this. This is very disturbing. Just that. You don't have to get rid of it right now, but
Well,
Let's,
all of these are here because they're a bit too dangerous for wide publication, so I'll just put it back here on the shelf. He's probably fashioned like a little like metal bar with a lock across them so no one can pull them out. Exactly.
anything else that we can get through while we're
There's one other place that might have information on this Lord of Dragons, but I don't want to look there.
why not?
What are you afraid of?
I'm gonna need you to leave the room.
Oh, this is the forbidden book that I'm not allowed to see. Gotcha.
Yes, that book. So Valera is going to go to a secret compartment and pull out Quantiphys's Book of Crimes, Volume 19.
Oh,
And he's
okay.
going to see if there's any mention in his book of any knowledge that he had about this Lord of Dragons that has been over 3,000 years old. What is this the Veiled Vagabond? What did he mean by that? Okay. Well, that doesn't bode well for our friend if this is the Vagabond Mountains. If Quantivis likes them, well, I probably won't. So he closes that book and puts it away. You can come back, Xavier.
He comes back in, kind of like
Nothing.
now.
I couldn't find anything about our friend Carne asses, but I did find something about something called the Vagabond Mountains. Does that ring a bell for you?
I'm gonna do a history check to see if it does. And my history is not as good as my investigation, I don't think, but history. Okay. 13.
Mm-hmm.
But
In
I
terms of
just
geographical location, anything being referred to as the Vagabond Mountains. Mm-hmm.
Or the
so
Valley of the Vagabond Dragon.
I'm gonna look at a
No,
map.
it was the Vagabond Mountains. So the only one that moves is Trantor. Damn it, John, stop it. Giving dragon prophecies to Thursday and us information on Trantor. It's not, it's silly. Why?
No, it's wonderful.
Why is it wonderful, Gene? It causes so much headache because we have information that is important to our campaign that we can't use, and so it gives us headaches trying to figure out how to find the information, which we can't do because it is all halfway across the world.
In a hidden location inside a flying ship.
Yeah, so there's like, you know, why? We've been there and done that. It doesn't help.
Well, all you groups get together.
Yeah, we'll find somewhere else to get your kicks before I start kicking you.
Thousands of miles away.
Yeah, but it does say the Vagabond Mountains, so it might. Yeah, or started from. Okay. Well, that's what I was doing while we were traveling, I guess. Me
Yep.
and Xavier. Murdered that 20 minutes.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
What is it? Okay. Well, that looks a little foreboding, eh?
I mean, yes, but I think we've had situations that are kind of just as bad before.
It isn't a swirling red tornado, that is true.
Can I, as we pass by, use my spyglass to possibly identify whether they are Eldrin or Grim? Or
You entered a
oh,
war zone, it seems.
Yeah.
Batten down the hatches. Steady as she goes, gentlemen.
I feel no real compassion for the people. They're the ones that make war.
Okay, 16. And my perception is that would be a 19. I kind of. Oh God. Why? But it makes sense for the Grim, but I'm just kind of like.
The Grim are a bit grim, eh?
Well, when you make a barrier out of new people, yes.
Nude dead people or nude live people?
Cool. At least they were dead when they did this, but still.
Wait, how do you know they were dead before they did this? Oh, okay.
Hooray. So is the smoke coming out of the mountain? Is it part of what's causing the gray fog over the next hex? Okay, so it's a separate black. Hmm. Okay, I was just wondering if we were gonna have a Captain Planet moment where, like, the dwarves are polluting the local environment, and you gotta set it right.
The only compassion I have is for the birds that were driven into battle and lost. It's not their choice.
Not the humans.
The humans, well, thank God they were spared being alive when it happened, but I agree with you. I think that's atrocious to treat anybody as if it is an object in life
Well,
or death.
question, John. How many humans was in this barrier, or could I tell? Okay, so
So there's a wall of corpse.
Yeah, dead
Are
bodies.
you not listening?
No,
Did you not see my message?
No.
No,
All right then.
you have to say something because I never look in chat.
Well, I didn't want to be rude.
so it was possibly multiple pods that they used for this.
They don't have pods down below. They take all the extras.
Oh, okay.
You
It's all
oughta,
good.
you oughta seen the sign
It took a
over
while
there.
for me to find the mess, and too, I was very uh, what's that word I'm looking for? Upset, but not. It's hard to say. Whatever, it's fine.
Hey,
It's although I would like to, I think it's a wee bit too dangerous. More than
yeah,
likely, we'll get caught in between on the next wave of attack, or caught as spies by the dwarves.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing. We know absolutely nothing about what's here. So there's like, it looks like big hands like gripping onto the ground, but it's because the smoke is wafting up from the ground or the plants. But visually, it looks like fingers gripping into the dirt. Gruesome.
Yeah,
Hmm.
rivulet.
Could it be like tainted by that black oil stuff that we had? That bastard. Well, that's icky.
Must that thing is some magical effect.
I think everybody should have some sort of breathing cover on their mouths.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It's
find it.
mandated if you're within 6 feet of each other.
Put a
With that,
find
I'll
a
shoot you
purple.
or push you overboard. Oh, but
Put
you
a
can fly. Damn.
put a
Eh.
purple. Put a purple. Uh, find an indigo cloth to cover my face with, just as a gag.
Clammy. Yeah.
She pulls up her cloak and hood and covers herself up.
Shiversome.
Creepy. Oh, I have a question. Is it like the color in out of color, like the in the
No,
Cthulhu,
no, no.
like how they this way without they move without wind? Oh, we're gonna have a crazy
I'm
looking thing.
gonna just get a closer look at one of those trees. Does it look like it has rope dangling from its branches? Okay, good.
Let's get a little bit higher, okay?
Yes, yes.
Is there any way for us to get above the clouds? How high would that take us?
Let's,
Hmm.
wait, I thought we're not supposed to go up above 1,000.
Yep. It's the usual rule. Let's
But this is
see.
a cloud, and there might be other things hiding in it. So
Yeah, that's the worrying part, and I don't fancy breathing it too much either.
Yeah.
I say let's do it. I trust you.
Depends. Do we want to risk something normally horrifying above the clouds, or something truly horrifying in the clouds?
I'm good.
Above the clouds. I go. I can go. At least I can see what's up above us.
There. Um. Just a second. I might have a way for us to navigate, even if we can't see the ground. I think I have a dagger. Yes. A dagger of direction will guides a point in any direction. Yes. So, according to our heading, and the captain, I will give it to the captain to keep us on heading no matter what, so that we can continue even if we lose sight of the ground or at night or whatnot. Uh, I can't make that decision alone. What do you guys think?
I said let's go up, but it's up. If we're just gonna have the dagger anyways, I guess we'd go forward.
Valaire's gonna take out the orb of storms and see if there is a storm nearby. Is this some kind of storm? Okay.
It's hallucinates. I'm betting. I think yeah, she got high from the clouds. Too high.
You're on mute,
No.
Gene, just in case you.
Okay, yes, I have a telephone call again. Okay, so anyway, um,
Hmm.
they're all unnameable dangers. I don't have a name for any of them. I'd rather be where I can see my target upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gross.
That's creepy.
Okay, Valaire's gonna go into the
Oh,
storage and he's
before
gonna
we.
pull out
Oh,
his
okay.
large barrel. There's a barrel that has 30 doses of an oil of protection against evil. So
Yes.
if we have need to go back down underneath that cloud cover, I would need every person on this ship to douse up and,
Uh,
if need
oh,
be, to dump what's left onto the ship itself.
Okay,
oh,
nice.
Soak it into the wood if we need to.
I kind of muted myself in a moment before when okay, before we get out of the clouds, I wanted to like try something. I wanted to try like light it on fire and see if it's like a substance
Oh,
that
cute. We're
hurts.
in it. It lights on fire.
Oh well, I guess that's a horrible idea now. Well, when we get above it, maybe I would like to like light it, see if it's like you can like get rid of it in the sense where we don't have to go all the way up in the air. Well, there. This is. Do you see this? Is this
Let's
only me?
let's not let's put it out, eh?
Okay. Okay. Bye. All right.
Oh, we gotta get.
Clear those off, man. What does it feel like?
Like oil.
He, cool.
Does anyone know what this stuff is?
Um,
Put it in a jar. Maybe we can save it and look at it later.
There's plenty. I don't think we need to take any of it on the ship.
Okay.
agreed.
Maybe look in the malign scrolls of shadow, because it looks a little bit shadowy to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna duck with Valera's permission, of course. Duck back down.
You don't need my permission to look at those books.
Okay, that would be a 7. Wait, no, that would be a 15 for. That's
Okay.
This is something.
Oh dear.
I just hope it's like the trees don't start turning red. That would be freaky.
bye.
It was
Cheery
fun,
bye.
guys.